Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Brenda, and I'm with Busy Bees Custom Creations. And I have been doing mandalas for about a year. So I'm no expert, but I thought I would share what I've learned so far with you. So to start off, let's talk tools. These are some inexpensive tools you can get off of Amazon, Temu, pretty much anywhere. So these are called dotting rods. I have marked on here what size they are, so you get an idea. In this set, there's a 15 millimeter, a 12, a 10, an 8, a 6, a 5, 4, 3. And then you have your stylus. And usually your stylus have the same 1.5 on on one end, and then different sizes on the other end. So those are basic tools. Like I said, you can get off Amazon. You can start out with these. These are great tools to start out with. And you can go from there. So, like I said, you can start with those tools. And then the tools that I like are these stylus from Thoughtful Dots. So they're from Etsy. What I like about them is you can see they have the sizes right on them. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out which size they are. And she has the sizes on there. So there's 0.5 to 1.0. And then the next is 1 to 1.5. And then 1.5 to 2. 1.5, 2.5, 1.5, 3, and then 3.54. I do like put a varnish on top of these because if you can see, sometimes they start to wear off. So if you put a varnish on top of them, they'll stay nice. These are tools I use most of the time. Again, you can get them from Etsy, from Thoughtful Dots. Okay, now something else I use. These are from Happy Dotting Company. And again, I like these. They have the sizes on there, 0.5 and 1, 1.5 and 2. This one, I don't know. I think this was the micro stylus one. And then this one is a 3 and a 5. So I don't know if you can see my little tool caddy over here. It's just a pencil holder. This works great for all of my tools. And I love that I can see what they are right there. So those are your basic tools. You can get all different kinds from all different places. So I like my tools. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is a set of dotting rods from Happy Dotting Company. I love these. They go from 0.5 all the way up to the biggest is a 15.5, and they're double-ended. So on one side, you're going to have the half size, like 11.5, and on the other side, you're going to have the whole size of 12. And they go all the way up from, like I said, 0.5 to 15.5. So in that set, you get all of those, plus you get these that have little balls on the end, S2, and then S4. And then they also have these with the little straight lines on it. Okay? So again, these are my favorite tools. I use these all of the time. And I just keep them in this little caddy. It's very easy to see what I have. Okay, so next, brushes. Now you can get any brushes anywhere. You can get rigger brushes off of Amazon. I've tried a bunch of different brushes. I do like Demi from Thoughtful Dots, her brushes. She has a short set where They're a little shorter. And then she has rigger brushes. And there's 2.0, 3, or 2 over 0, 3 over 0, and 0, 1, 2, and 3. So I like those. But honestly, whatever brushes work for you is good. So I'm going to put these back in my little caddy here so I know what I have. Okay, and again, I love this caddy. It works great. It holds, I don't know if you can see it, all of my tools right there. Okay, so let me put this away. So let me go over some other things you're going to need when you first get started. You're going to obviously need your dotting tools, and you're going to need paint. I like to use Deco Art Americana. It's the right thickness, the right consistency, from what everyone says. There's also Apple Barrel, there's Bulk Art, there's all kinds of paint. You find what works best for you. Some of them you have to add a little thickening agent to. Others you have to do thin, so it's totally up to you, but the Deco Art Americana works great. All right, then you need something to, you need a surface, right? There's ornaments, there's rounds, wood rounds. The wood rounds, start in 4 inches, go all the way up to 36 inches or bigger. So this is just one of my smaller wood rounds. You can use ornaments. These are ornaments, just from Hobby Lobby. They have different sizes. I was just practicing with this. So you can use all kinds of things. You can use mugs. You can use glasses. You can use plates. Anything you can think of. All right. So then in order to, something else you're going to need. Oh, these are Q-tips with a pointed edge, and these are great. These are lifesavers. You will definitely need those to wipe up some of your mistakes if you have them. You need baby wipes or paper towels to clean up the dots if you mess up. A turntable is very helpful. Something to paint or cover your clothes, because I get paint all over. So that's just kind of the basics of tools. And then this is a compass I use. And this one works great. I got this from Amazon. And you can also use one of these. It's got, from 0 to 360. So if you want a 12 or 16, grid, you can just 360 divided by 12, and then you can mark every area there. Okay, and then let's talk about stencils. So there's lots of different stencils also. There's these flexible ones from Happy Dotting Company. I love these. I use these all the time. This is another one from Happy Dotting Company. This is great for ornaments or rounded objects. You can put that on there. When you're doing on the plastic or glass, I use the Bistro chalk marker. These work very well. You can just put your lines on. They come off very easily. I just take a wet wipe and then wipe off my guidelines. See, they just come right off. Okay, so that is for anything like that has a slick surface. I use these. And then for my wood rounds, things like that, I use any one of these stencils, and I like to use the Arteza brand of the colored pencils. These wipe off very easily. You see, I did this one, and when you're done, you just wipe off the guidelines. It works great. They come right off. And I also, for my backgrounds, most of the time I use black. And I found that I personally like the Apple Barrel Matte Black. The guide marks come off very easily. It's very easy to use. You would want to use either a brush or one of the sponge brushes to put your paint on the background. Okay, so stencils, back to stencils. So here's another flexible one. And they come in different sizes, different numbers of sections. This one is a 16 section. And then you can get these off of Amazon. Again, this one is an 8 grid section. They have 12 grid sections, 16 grid section. So you can get these off of Amazon. You can find them anywhere. So let's talk about a couple other things here. And as we go in this series, we'll get into more things. We also have small turntables for small projects. And when I first started, I like to practice my stuff on paper. This is a heavy cardstock. And I will draw my circle here with the guidelines and just practice on this. I also have these books that I like to maybe practice bigger sizes. This is a 9 by 12. It is, again, you can get this off of Amazon. I love these books. Okay, so when you're first starting out, find a surface that has like a slick surface. Tiles are great to practice on because they have a nice slick surface and you can practice very easily with that. So these are the basic tools that I use when I'm doing a project. You also can use for dimensional, like top dots, things like that. You can use what's called Nuvo drops or Bliss drops, or the liquid pearls. Okay, so there's a bunch of different things you can get. This is just a basic video of kind of some of the basic tools that you want to get started with. So in the next video, I will start with your dotting and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.